But the one that I want to talk about was working with MasterChef Luca Manfe. That's probably
That was
was that our last one that we worked together?
I think it might have been. Yeah, I think that it might have been our last video that we've done together. Yeah,
Last video that we worked, but
yeah.
that was probably like the most special one.
That one was good.
Yes,
That was nice.
that was
Yeah.
that one was pretty sweet. So yeah, first of all, Luca Manfe, thank you for saying yes, for letting us, work on this video project for
Yeah.
you. But
Shout out to Luca.
yeah, shout out to Luca. But yeah, so I remember were you the one that told me about the audience awards? Remember the audience awards?
Yeah. I think I told you.
Yeah. So we had
I had brought it up.
you
Like, yeah, like, cause I came across in like an article where they were doing some like competition,
yeah.
and what was it? What was the exact competition? Oh, they were showcasing small businesses.
Small businesses,
Yeah.
small businesses. So you came to me with that.
Or I just sent it to you. Just
Yeah, like hey, check it out.
yeah.
And I remember at that time I was needing like a new project. I was like, I wanted to work on something, and I've always been a fan of Netflix Chef's Table. I've always been I love documentaries. I love those, and even not actually documentaries, but kind of like what would you call like so there's a show called on Netflix called Chef's Table.
I've seen a couple episodes.
Okay.
It's pretty. It's dope.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like they introduce you to the main chef,
Yeah.
and they tell you about his background, where he started, where his passion for food comes from. They show you where his restaurant, and they show you every type of like his best dishes.
Yeah.
So I've always wanted to do something like that. So the first person that I thought of when you showed me the link was with Luca, and Luca has this thing called Dinner with Luca where he so if you don't know who Luca is, if you're a fan of the show MasterChef, he won the whole thing, season 4, and he had this thing called Dinner with Luca where he would go to your home, and it was like legit. He would do a 4-course meal, appetizers, entrees, desserts. Can't think of the other one. But at that time, I remember I researched him, and one of the craziest things, like, so he's from New York. He's he lived in New York, but when I was reading his bio, he's like, and now I'm living in Houston. I was like, no freaking way! This guy Luca, the guy that I watched on TV, is living in Houston now.
Yeah.
So I reached out to him. During this time, my sister had just gotten married, and I wanted to do something special. So I hired Luca Manfe to do the Dinner with Luca, surprise my whole family. Such a cool experience. And I remember talking to him like afterwards, and I was like, hey, I have this idea, that I've always wanted to do. I have a friend of mine that we both do videography. We would love to work with you. We would love to do a video.
Yeah.
And I remember, he was like super nice, the nicest guy that you'll ever meet.
Yeah, he is. He's really, really nice.
Yeah. So he said yes, and I remember I was like super stoked. I texted you, was like, Mike, he said yes. Let's work on this together.
Yep.
I feel like with your skill set and mine, we can crush it.
Yeah.
And so that whole experience was probably by far as a videographer.
Yeah.
Was probably my highlight. It has been the highlight, just to work with him, just to see him, and we were able to get like we were able to get this nice condo in downtown Houston, because we were kind of looking for like this nice kitchen area where you can work at. And yeah, man, I remember that day. You killed it that day. The lighting, the audio, and yeah, that's probably been the one of the highlights working with you. It's in I remember as soon as the whole editing was, or as soon as the whole shooting was done, the whole editing process. I don't know how many times I came over, working on it.
Yeah.
But he actually used it on his website. Yeah, so
that's dope, man.
So it's still, if you go to Luca Manfe, you can still see the video that we worked on, and so he.
Well, I'll post a link to the video in the description below.
Yeah, no, so it was such a great.
So
work.
if y'all want to check it out, yeah, man, and I liked how that video turned out, And with my videos, there's always like something where I could pick out like a shot that I don't really like, that I incorporate in there just because I kind of have to tell the whole story and the whole narrative. But looking back at that Luca's video, for the dinner with Luca, that video in there was not one shot I didn't like.
Yeah.
That video, I liked every single shot in there. I thought it was dope, and I thought it all worked out. It all went together really well, and it told the story that we needed to tell. And
we had to keep it under, what was it, 2 minutes?
Yeah, I think it was under 2 minutes. Yeah, that was our time limit.
So it was like an all day shoot, and that's crazy when you think about it. Like, we got there like around what, like 9 o'clock in the morning to set up.
Nah, it wasn't that early.
I think it was early.
What time did Luca got there? Like in the afternoon. He didn't get.
Okay, so it might have been like we got there like at 10 a.m. and Luca got there maybe like around noon.
1. I think he was supposed to come at noon, but he ran a little late. Remember?
Okay,
I think he came like.
But I remember
1.
I wanted to be there early. That way you can set up like the lights, and I just kind of like get a feel for how we're gonna
where we're gonna shoot.
Yeah, where he needs to be positioned. So we got there early to do that.
Yeah,
and then when we got there, we were ready to go. It was pretty cool to interview him, ask him a couple questions, and super cool guy, man. That's by far one of the one of my highlights is working with him, working with you, man. And
I can tell you, I'm gonna give a little inside scoop to the listeners, to the viewers.
Yeah,
you were super nervous going into that shoot. Before Luca got there, you were extremely nervous,
and that's I don't remember. Honestly, I probably blacked out. It was because I think at that time it was probably the biggest project.
Yeah,
and it was the biggest project that I was in.
I remember you looking like he was there. He was like setting up, and then you would come over to me. He's like, "Oh my God, it's Luca Manfe."
yeah. No,
I remember that. I was like, "Calm down, dude."
Yeah, no, I was definitely what's it, fanboying?
Yeah, fanboying out.
Yeah, man, because I mean, this guy was our favorite, watching him compete in that show.
Yeah,
and I just couldn't believe it that he was in the room, and we were actually going to work on
something. Yeah, working something together.
Yeah, so you're right. I mean, I was nervous. I don't remember the actual day, what happened.
Yeah,
but that whole sequence was fun.
And it was really great working with him. That was cool, man. Really good dude.